The couture is few little numbers. Fashion is for everybody. You are a successful designer when you make numbers, when everybody knows you and everybody wants you. The story of Missoni starts with my parents in the 50s. The two together, and the love for fashion of my mother and the pleasure of knitting and using fabrics and yarns and color of my father, they mixed. My father, he was an athlete. He was in the Italian Olympic team. He was running 400 hurdles. And actually, he met my mother in London. He was there for the Olympic Games in 1948. And my mother, she was in college in London. She went to look at the Italian team, and they met the Italian runners and athletes, and they know each other. And they met again in Milano. My father, it was at the end of his career. With a friend, they started a little company of activewear. Today we have all this active fabric and special fabric and tactile, super tech, high-tech fabrics. At that time, even the bathing suits were in wool. And he was trying to do jogging suits in wool, knitted, very light, jersey, you know what you call jersey. And when he met my mother, and she had this a kind of culture more fashion oriented, with the machine they had, they started to make some knitwear. In the middle of the 60s till the end of the 60s, it was a big revolution in everything. The fashion world was changing from the couture. It was not like what we call the ready-to-wear today. It did not exist. They started to do these things in the 60s. They are born with the ready-to-wearness. And they make color. And people say they were crazy, using so much color. They had an exhibition in Florence around all the famous couturiers at that time. They show up a beautiful girl in a Missoni color and transparent little dress. And the year after, they did not accept the inscription to the PT. And it was a scandal. And they say, no, you are out from Florence, you will never be back again. The year after, they decided, okay, to show their collection in Milano. And in the same time, other new designers that today are big names, you know, were starting to make their lines in Milano like little couturier too.
Who were the names back then?
Giorgio Armani was designing from some companies. It was Versace had a boutique with his mother. And she used to buy Missoni. And this is the way that the Milano fashion world started. At that time, the McQueen and Galliano used to be Missoni, Crizia, and there were a lot of new talent. Ken Scott, Pucci were well known. Valentino was starting too, was a young designer. We used to have a showroom in Paris, not in Milano at that time, because the French and the customers used to come to look what was happening, and the English shops, you know, where the fashion was more exciting at that time, used to come to see what the Italians were doing. Sometimes they say Missoni is copying the Indians from America. My father used to say that in the South America Andes, they used to copy Missoni 2,000 years ago. So it's important to understand the culture and the feeling of dressing, and when you travel to get ideas, and on the other side, to understand what people need. Some people say, oh, it's easy to copy Missoni, you just put color. I can tell you it will be for sure a very bad copy, because the experience and the taste we have put in,
Yes.
which take years and years. It's culture.
Yes.
And then you don't have to look everything together, but you have to take a single piece.
Yes.
You have to take a single piece and look it by itself.
Yes.
And forget all of what is around. We have to offer a product, understand where the market goes with colors,
Yes.
and try to help,
Yes.
with our product, or to go and follow with our color, but working with our personality. And also, we work on fabric and material. And then the line has to be fashionable and modern. It has not to be trendy. When the color in the fashion world comes back,
Yes.
this is our moment.
Yes.
When the fashion world go to
Black and
gray
white.
and super,
You're not the only person
we are
who
the
does that.
alternative.
Is this business art or is it design?
My father was a very good friend of Balthus. They admire each other's.
Yes.
Really, Balthus
Yes.
gave to my father his palettes as present.
Yes.
Because he loved the job of my father, because he was saying he had the sensibility of an artist.
Yes.
But he used his sensibility to the service of a company. An artist, in a certain way, can work when he has a feeling. A fashion designer, and you have a day you have to show your collection, and you have a day you have an appointment with your customers,
Yeah.
and you cannot leave the market and wait and saying that, okay, for 6 months I stay out and then I'll come back. You cannot do it. So really, it's very important to be a good entrepreneur. The problem of a designer, it's all the collection is part of your family.
These are all your children.
They are all your children, exactly.
Yes.
It's funny because when I speak with my mother and my sister sometimes, and I tell them, well, this is the best seller.
Yes.
And she should be incredibly happy. And this is not. But when she asks, this is the best seller, this is not, she said, why not this?